Well, it's the last day of the year, and it's a good time to look at why these two coaches at Indiana are like polar opposites. We're going to take a look at month by month how this really like happened in this last year and how Cignetti got it done. And so far, the basketball team, just a big culture problem. Let's get into it.
Pretty simple. I win.
For three on the way.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this community. So today we're going to talk about what has happened from January, February, March, all the way through the year, month by month, and take a couple of looks at some older videos on the channel. Because what were we thinking back then? Like last year when we lost the Nebraska game, that was kind of the first indication that this Indiana team was going to struggle and that Mike Woodson had completely lost control of the team. But if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button down below. Thank you for being here and being part of Indiana Sports Connection. And the channel is brought to you by BetUS. Use my promo code Indiana125 to save 125% on your first 3 deposits, and 10% of all the AdSense revenue on this channel goes to T2T.org. Now that we got all of that out of the way, without further ado, let's get into talking about the Indiana Hoosiers. Alrighty, so we are just going to look at what has happened over this last year, because I made this video and the channel has had great growth. I mean, last year at this time, this channel had like 50 subscribers. So thank you so much to all of you, and leave your comments down below. Tell me what you want to see on the channel next, or what do you want to see? More jokes, more serious talk? I mean, I tried to mix it up in the best way possible. If it's serious, I'm serious. If I feel like it can be funny, I try to make it funny. Without your support of all of you out there, none of this would be made possible. So thank you very much for all of that. So Hillbilly Monkey, let's take a look at, this is the video that I made after the Nebraska game last year. Things were going awry for Indiana. Roll that clip. A team play. Nobody ever blocks out. They never do. Like, they don't even block. They don't block out. If you are guarding your guy around the 3-point line and the shot goes up, turn around, put your ass cheeks against them. It has to be contact. You have to feel where that guy is. You have to turn around and put yourself into him. So you can control where they're going to go, and you can feel you're going to get to the ball before that. It's just the most simple thing ever. You don't have to be athletic to block out. You don't have to have long arms to block out. You don't have to have some genius IQ. It's just a matter of the coaches telling you to do it. And if you don't do it, you're going to get pulled out of the game. That's it. The things that are driving me nuts about this team are things that are very easily correctable. Free throw percentage. How is our free throw percentage only 65%? Don't you just love to take a look back at what we all looked like? We were a year younger back then in January, and the Indiana Hoosiers were about to show us a lot of frustration through those months of January. Let's take a look at the schedule here, Hillbilly Monkey. So if you remember last year, it was like coming out of December, we got killed by UConn, we got killed by Auburn, and we had a close game with Kansas. And it wasn't until January 3rd we played Nebraska, and we got beat by them pretty badly after playing. And then if you just take a look at the schedule here, so that's really where it came off. Then we beat Ohio State, lost at Rutgers, Minnesota we beat, and then we lost to Purdue, lost to Wisconsin, lost to Illinois, squeaked out a win at home against Iowa, and then lost to Penn State, then Purdue, Northwestern, Nebraska, at Penn State. Lost all those games until February 24th. Yeah, that's 4 wins and 14 games in that stretch. That's going to get Mike Woodson fired this year if that happens again. So then what happened? They won the 5 games at the end of the season, and many of the Indiana fans went, well, give Mike Woodson the benefit of the doubt, and I did. So Mike Woodson started bringing in players. And then in football, we had murmurs. Curt Cignetti, he said what he said in December at the basketball game. And then I went to the spring game and we watched them there. And you couldn't get a great indication, but the team looked more disciplined. The football team did at the spring game. And at that time in April, I was making tons of videos about all of the transfers that were coming into the basketball team, and people were just getting super hyped up all April, May, June, July. I mean, do you remember the conversations we had? They were all like, this basketball team is going to be good no matter what. This is a surefire plan. We have the money, we have the pieces, we're bringing in the pieces. And I am 100% on board with all of that for the basketball team all through the offseason. But in the back of my mind, the entire time I thought, Mike Woodson does not know what he's doing with any of this stuff with college basketball. I'm going to have to see it. We're going to have to see it for ourselves to actually believe it. And, we were all then in August, big time naysayers. I feel like early on, we played a lot of weak teams in the football team, but it was like that UCLA game is the one. And my dad, we went over to Buffalo Wild Wings and met up and watched that game. And that was the first indication of the football team where you're like, wow, this football team, when was the last time they went on the road and really beat a team like that? I believe the final score was like 42-14. So that is when people started getting really pumped up about the football team. They were 3-0 right then. Then they went to 4-0 and 5-0. And as the time went through and as we made more and more videos about the football team, it was amazing to watch the growth this year of just how, and let's just look at all of the videos that were coming out. And yeah, making videos about the football team, and they just started getting more and more people's interest in Indiana football. It's amazing what hard work and dedication by Curt Cignetti, what he has been able to accomplish. Now, he did bring a lot of guys from JMU, and I've heard, but he's proved that in the college game, it's about building relationships. That is what Mike Woodson, I don't think, understands about what it means to build a good college basketball team. It's about people, it's about relationships, and you have to foster those relationships. Cignetti brought all these guys in because he got these guys to buy in. They're guys that want to be high performers. They want to be that, maybe there were people that were overlooked in times past. And look, a lot of people get overlooked, and that is your time to prove that you are what you say you are, and go out there and prove it. An Indiana football team has done that through this year. And the basketball team, we just can't, at the end of the year right now, with them being 10-3, and where it's going to go, where it's projected to go throughout this next, we got Rutgers on Thursday. This team being ranked, to this team, everybody's saying this is the best team in the Big Ten, to, I believe it was one magazine picked Indiana to even win the Big Ten. And then for Mike Woodson to go out there and lay this type of an egg, it's really, really bad. So this whole year, it has really come full circle that accountability, because Curt Cignetti and accountability with him is right in your face. It's there every second of every day. Curt Cignetti is getting it done and showing up at 4:30 a.m. and watching film and fostering relationships with people and really driving it home, the excitement of it, the entertainment aspects of it. I mean, he just understands full circle what it means to coach in college. And we have a guy on our basketball team that just has no clue what it means to coach. And that is why they are just polar opposites, and these programs are on two separate wavelengths. And that's what we've seen play out this year right in front of our own faces, that the crappy Indiana football, even with low star players or no star players, can get it done. Just like Nebraska's basketball team gets it done against us with no star players. And on the complete yin and yang of that, on our basketball team, we have all high-priced, high-starred players that think they're somebody's, and none of them can get it done. So on this last day of the year, I sit here and I'm like, what is going to change with the basketball team when the football team is sitting right in front of them, showing them how to get it done, how they can get it done, and they just won't do it. And there couldn't be anything to end this year on a worse note than a guy who's being paid millions of dollars, Umar Ballo, to be at Indiana, and has just the egregious. This should tell you more about the culture of Indiana. Even if you think this guy had the right to go do whatever he wanted or whatever he thinks he could do, but this shows you the culture that a guy has that type of hubris to do this right in Mike Woodson's face and go out to the bar right the day before a game shows a level of balls that, I mean, I don't think anybody should ever have. And it really, like, he's doing it in such a way, rubbing his face in it almost like, look, I can get away with anything. Galloway can get away with anything, and all of these guys can. And that is the culture at Indiana basketball, and is the exact opposite for the football team. It's hard to take. Tell me what you think about it, because this whole year, these things have been pulling in separate directions, and the basketball team was talking all this shit over the summertime and leading into this year, and the football team was surprisingly quiet, and they were just working their tails off to get an 11-2 season where we only lost to Ohio State and Notre Dame. And the basketball team, they can't beat anybody right now, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a struggle if they play any teams, quad 1 or 2 teams. Unless they totally redeem themselves, I don't think you can flip a switch and then suddenly you're just going to be holding people accountable. This Indiana basketball team has went so far down the toilet. What did you think about the year in sports, Hillbilly Monkey? You know, I gave you eyes this year. You should be thankful for that.
Carved from the sands of the Wabash River and formed into a monkey lamp that's sold at Home Goods. It's the Hillbilly Monkey Perspective on Indiana Sports Connection.
Well, there ain't much more to say. I mean, Curt Cignetti, he is getting it done in the best kind of way, and Mike Woodson is just shitting the bed at every single opportunity that this guy could screw up or not hold somebody accountable or not do the right thing. He does it every single step of the way. We have opposites in action, and Curt Cignetti took what was the shittiest football program in the history of really football and turned that into something. IU football is probably the hardest job to do in the history of the world, and Indiana basketball has all the basketball players in Indiana at your disposal, and he can't do it, can't get his head out of his ass or get any of these guys or evaluate anything in a real kind of way.
Well, you're damn right about that. I mean, I don't think he can evaluate anybody in a real kind of way. And the winner of the Rally House giveaway at 1,900 subscribers, it was the comment at David Foot /EU3DM. And there you go. Email me at indianasportsco@proton.me, and I will send you your shirt. And thank you very much for watching the channel. David Foot EU3DM. There's nowhere for it to be saved. I am sorry. I don't see how this team could possibly get it together, because you can't just flip a switch. You can't just one day be like, I want to be the accountability police and we're going to do better now. It just doesn't work that way. You got to start being that way, like from the very beginning. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy New Year to everybody. Go Hoosiers. I hope we see better basketball performance out of the basketball team in the next 2 months, or this will be the year of hiring a new coach and being excited about that in the next couple months. But it's been a bad year for Indiana basketball. This whole calendar year we've had people like Steve Risley and Joe Hillman and all kinds of different people, Brian Evans and Todd Leary, speak out about the basketball team, and it also makes it just a bad culture soup at Indiana. So thank you so much for being here. this whole year, and we'll make 2025 even a better year. Thank you so much, and until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans.